All right, let's go ahead and slide over to the Dolphins at the Bills. Tyrod Taylor back again.
Yes.
So what are we expecting out of this game? Because the Bills are favored at home. Miami put up a stinker against, after a couple great games, they put up a stinker against New England. Do you start both quarterbacks?
Yeah, I prefer Taylor. But Tannehill, he's a fine lower-end quarterback one started for me this week.
Okay. And, all right, what about Taylor?
What about Taylor? I love him.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got him top 10 this week.
Yeah, I love Taylor. He's back. He's finally healthy. He has been lighting up the league, really. If you're not paying attention, you think, oh, he's just a runner. He's a great passer. He's completing over 70% of his passes, and these aren't just dink-dunk type throws. He ranks near the top of the league with yards per attempt. So I like Taylor. The Dolphins, I think they got really exposed. They kind of came down off of their new coaching regime high. The Patriots manhandled them. And last time the Dolphins played the Bills, it was really ugly. It was lopsided for the Bills, and that was the game that Tannehill just managed to come through with some excellent garbage time production.
The only thing that concerns me about Taylor moving forward is just that he has the weapons he needs to be productive. It'll help having Shady back. Watkins is practicing on a limited basis this week for those monitoring his situation.
I think he plays this week.
I do too. Harvin's obviously out, but that's the only thing that I want to watch. Okay, so let's talk the running back situation. You're starting Shady. You're starting Lamar Miller. Is Carlos Williams a pure handcuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is to me. I mean, he was putting up huge production when he was playing, but that's because he was scoring. He was only touching the ball around 7 or 10 times, but he happened to score every single time.
Yeah, it was almost like David Johnson, putting up good numbers, but you can't rely on him to.
That's a perfect comparison.
You can't start him, even though
he might get that play or two, but you can't predict it.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so Jarvis Landry's been one of the most consistent wide receivers in all of fantasy. He's kind of slid into that Wes Welker-ish consistency model that we saw from years past. Let me ask you, though, I mean, do you think of him? I mean, he's ranked right on the 1-2 line. I think he's like 13 on the season. Do you consider him a one-capable receiver?
I don't. I mean, a capable, I guess, optimistically, he has the potential and the talent to do it, but I consider him a high-end wide receiver, too. He's, to me, more of the consistent guy with a high floor and not as high a ceiling. That's what I see Jarvis Landry as, because while he did get 2 touchdowns, I believe, in his last game, that's very rare for him so far over his short career.
Two games ago.
Yeah.
Two games ago. He's normally the possession guy, not the red zone guy.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Would you rather have Stefon Diggs or Jarvis Landry rest of the season?
Oh, man.
Great question.
That is a great question. I would go... Man, I think you got to stay in the flames with Stefon Diggs at this point. I think his upside is higher. Even though Jarvis Landry, though, is getting decent targets over the year. He has been getting solid red zone targets, just wasn't scoring touchdowns.
Would you rather have Mike Evans or Jarvis Landry rest of the season?
Landry.
Okay.
I want Evans can boom, give you 50. He's a receiver who can give you that 40-point game of just absolute ridiculousness. But I want the consistency from Landry.
Are you guys starting Charles Clay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's a solid.
The Packers head into Carolina and are favorites over the Panthers.
That's crazy.
By 2.5 points, which is shocking to me.
I don't think it's that crazy. I would say that the Packers win this game.
The Panthers are undefeated and they're at home. I'm just amazed that they're not. This game isn't at least heads up.
Yeah, it's just the points that Green Bay is getting.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think that Carolina wins this game. So I mean, I'm not making that my almost upset because it's too close to call for me.
Right, you don't even think that's an upset, right? You think that's what it should.
Right.
What the line
so I'm not.
should be.
I got mine figured out for that. So let's talk about this game a little bit. Rodgers, a couple tough matchups in a row.
Yep.
A wide receiving core that, honestly, on film, to me, outside of Randall Cobb, isn't doing a lot to help him out. Not a lot of separation. I mean, Rodgers buys a lot of time in the pocket. But last game, first read, second read, he couldn't find anybody.
They really need Ty Montgomery to get healthy, because he is a weapon that seems to be missing when he's not healthy and in there. Then if you shut down Randall Cobb with your best, James Jones, look, there was a reason he was dropped from other teams. He's slower and older. He's
dropped off a map.
Dropped off a lot. So I expect Ty Montgomery to be a change of pace for the Packers offense if he's playing. That's going to be important for the other wide receivers to be able to get involved.
We should just get Jordy Nelson back too.
Yeah, let's do that.
Get him back. I think he's practicing right. No, it's such a sad thing. Because there's these superstars in fantasy, you don't even get to talk about them the whole year because of the injuries. So,
are you confident starting Randall Cobb in? I guess so. You're saying you don't want to play anybody else, but would you play Cobb this week?
Yeah,
no way.
I would.
I would not.
I don't know if Cobb is going to get the Josh Norman experience.
He won't.
That is the big difference to me, is whether or not he's on Norman. I expect him to be Normaned, because when I look at the wide receivers there, even though he's more of the slot guy, he's not normally the type of wide receiver that Norman's guarding. I mean, what are you going to – so you think Norman's going to be on James Jones?
I think Cobb will be okay. I think he'll be fine.
No, I'm saying, who do you think Josh Norman's
I think Norman will do what he did last game, which is, occasionally Norman was on Moncrief last game. It wasn't all Hilton.
It's true.
So I think he'll move around a little bit. Norman's great. We don't got, hopefully, a downpouring rain, and Aaron Rodgers is as good as it gets. He'll find his guy. And he's got, Cobb can get separation. So I'm okay with Cobb. I mean, I'm talking wide receiver 2.
Right.
Fine with him as a 2 this week. All right, the Eddie Lacy, James Starks situation. How are you guys reading that? It seems like it's just Lacy.
Lacy. And
after the bye.
I think that the running game struggles. It's this vicious cycle of who's responsible for the downturn of the Green Bay offense, where they can't run the ball, and the passing hasn't been the normal Aaron Rodgers numbers that we've been used to the last couple games. Is that because they can't run? Or can they not run because the passing game isn't there?
Eddie Lacy or Jeremy Langford this week?
Jason? Langford.
That's tough.
I think it's Langford. Let me check my rankings.
It is on your rankings. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
In my rankings,
it is on yours too.
It is. I've got Langford higher.
Definitely.
All right. Well, then I'll stick with that.
I shouldn't say definitely. It's like 5 spots, but you do.
I do think Eddie Lacy is a decent play this week. I've got him about 6 spots higher than.
Do you take him over Ronnie Hillman?
Yes.
Do you take him over Jonathan Stewart in this game, head to head? Stewart's got 3 straight games of 20+ touches.
I'd go with. I think
if you want higher, if you want higher upside to me, I go.
Yes.
I go
yeah.
Lacy.
The ceiling is Lacy because Stewart is never guaranteed a touchdown. When you're by the end zone, I guess Lacy's not either. But if any running back is going to get it in, it's high probability that it's Lacy.
All right, that makes sense. That's good. Good thoughts. We're starting Greg Olsen.
Yep.
So nothing to talk about there. Is there a wide receiver you'd start from Carolina? And I guess it'd be Ginn, right?
I would start Ted Ginn.
Yeah. As a flex?
Yeah, lower 3.
Lower 3.
Or I mean,
deeper league,
like
deeper
a higher
league.
3.
Yeah, deeper league. All right, Jaguars go into New York. They face the Jets. We talked about Ryan Fitzpatrick. He'll be back. Ivory's practicing in full this week. You can start him with no hesitation whatsoever against the Jacksonville defense that is, they're in the middle of the pack against the run, but they're not, not very good. So, Allen Robinson this week. Concerns?
Yes. I was looking at Allen Robinson's splits. Him in a game versus bottom half passing defense and top half passing defense, and his fantasy production literally is cut in half. And I think that is more a Blake Bortles issue than an Allen Robinson issue. But Darrelle Revis is one of the best in the league. He's going to be on Allen Robinson.
He's absolutely going to shadow Allen Robinson.
I think it could be a tougher day. Revis isn't. It's not impossible to beat him. Allen Robinson has the ability to do it every once in a while. Can Blake Bortles find him on that particular play? This is one of those games where I kind of like Allen Hurns.
Yep.
Because the second receiver is going to have to be he's just going to get an uptick of targets because Robinson won't be open every single play.
And Antonio Cromartie has struggled recently this year as that second cornerback there. So if he's on Hurns, I think Hurns could get open. Did you know Hurns has it's either 5 or 6 games in a row with a touchdown.
Yes.
I mean, he is a great weapon there to score, and if you can't do it with Allen Robinson because of Revis, and you're playing from behind and need to pass, that's a way forward.
All right. And do you start Julius Thomas?
I was just going to ask, what do we do with Thomas?
I start him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
With full confidence?
Yeah. As a top 12 tight end, I do. Yeah, I think Julius Thomas is talented. I think the Revis factor will impact hit targets his way in this game. And I'm not super high on Yeldon this week. He'll get the workload, but that's not going to amount to too much if they're trailing in this game. The run defense, the Jets are number 1 in the league against the run. So Yeldon, you have to take down a few ticks on the road against the number 1 run defense. Do we agree with that?
I completely agree. I mean, the what's nice about him is the volume will be there. So there's a baseline you get from Yeldon.
All right. So let's move on to the Rams at the Vikings. The Vikings are favored in this game, and this is my
Andy's almost upset of the week.
I can get behind this.
Yeah, I think the Rams are probably about as good as the Vikings are. The Vikings are 5-2. The record is much better than not much better. The Rams are 4-3 right now, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So, I mean, I think that this is a game that St. Louis can control. Their defense has been playing out of its mind. I know it's in Minnesota, but they gave up. I mean, the Rams are coming off 2 straight games, giving up only 6 points. It's not like the Vikings offense is prolific here. It's down near the bottom of the league. And when I was looking at these two teams, I kind of saw mirror images of one another.
Seriously.
I mean, you got Gurley and Peterson. Foles is terrible.
Yeah, I was going to say, please.
Bridgewater's better than Foles.
Please do not compare Nick Foles to Teddy Bridgewater.
No, but the defense for St. Louis is a little bit better than the Vikings D. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Vegas thinks the same thing. It's under 40 points for the over-under. And, I think you have to play Diggs right now and stay in the flames with him because it's just going to take one play, and he's kind of the top target right now. So I'm starting Diggs. I'm not hyper confident because the Rams D is great.
Over 40% of the targets last week.
Yeah, wow. That's why you play. That's how you play a guy. Look to those to get your baselines. So I'm not, other than the running backs and Diggs, I'm probably putting most of the other guys on the bench. I mean, Austin in the flex maybe.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it.
I'm with you, man. Running backs and Diggs, and then I'm washing my hands of this game.
Yeah. So Redskins face the Patriots. The Patriots are 14-point favorites.
I will take that.
You'll take the. It should be more.
Yes. Yes. They will win by more than 14 points.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. It's in Foxborough. I just don't know if anybody can stop this team right now. And if anybody can, I don't think it's going to be a team with a run defense that's at the bottom of the league. It's been playing pretty bad the past 3 games.
This is a game, I think, matchup-wise, where you can play just about every single. I wouldn't play Amendola, but
I'll read them out. You say yes or no.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So Brady.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Blunt.
Yes.
Edelman.
Yes.
LaFell.
Yes.
Chandler.
No. Okay. You got
Amendola.
No.
No way. Yeah. All right. So most
Gronk?
Patriots. Gronk. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much all of them. So let's talk about the Redskins. That's really the question here of who do you choose to play? Is Deshaun Jackson?
I think you can start Deshaun Jackson personally. I
agree with you.
I like the garbage potential of this game for Washington. I think Cousins is not an awful streamer. I don't know. Do my rankings say I would play Cousins over Andrew Luck? Because in my heart, I believe that I would. In D-Jax, I think he can get a bomb.
You have Cousins 14th, and you have Andrew Luck 16th.
Yeah,
your heart speaks true.
I knew it. I knew I could trust my heart, and I think Cousins can be okay in this game, just getting behind by so many points. Jordan Reed, Rule 86 of fantasy football. If Jordan Reed's healthy, you play him.
Yep.
So
is that his number? His jersey number?
I don't know. I just grabbed a random number
out of thin air.
Yeah.
His number is 86.
Are you kidding me?
No, I thought it sounded familiar when you said it. His number's 86.
That's some weird.
Yeah.
That's how much we're watching football.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Blowing my mind.
There you go.
So do you play Garcon then and hope for garbage time?
He's a lower end. Yeah, I think I'd rather play Deshaun Jackson.
And what about the running game? Do you steer clear of
What running
everyone?
game?
Chris Thompson would be my start over Jones or Morris.
I agree, and
He's
I would
practicing in full, and he's fine.
and I would not want to put Chris Thompson in there. So for me, I agree with you. He is
Yeah,
better
but what
than
if
the
you
other
what
two.
if you were the Lev Bell, Matt Forte, Arian Foster owner?
Then I went and I got Langford. I hope.
Yeah, if it didn't work out, Thompson. If you're one of those, if you got hit by the apocalypse, if you're getting hit by the week 9 by apocalypse, then sure, Chris Thompson.
I like the email from somebody who said that he withstood so many victories that his team broke, and the break was like Foster Bell down, boom boom. So